I was just like, guys, this is very non-progressive. Actually, I begged myself, like, can I just go home? Let me explain to you how contractions feel. By telling her, like, Wale, I prayed. Why didn't God have mercy on me? Hey, my name is Mape. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. I know it's been a while. The last time I was here, I was telling you guys that I was pregnant and I gave birth, as you can see from the title of the video. I'm really sorry if my energy is really low. One, it's been a while. Two, it's 23 and I've had a really long day. Like, it's 23:30, but I feel like if I don't do this video today, I'll never do it. So I'm forcing myself, and besides, I feel like, just pay attention to the story and you'll forget that there's no energy, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to tell you guys about my labor story. So I gave birth on the 19th of January, which is almost 1 month ago now. So a baby boy. He's really sweet, lovable, and just so chilled, and yeah, he's really lovely. I know I'm biased, but he is lovely. And his names are Ezekiel, Conrad, Tumelo, Pandamabola. So you can kind of like, mix and match what you feel like. You can, feel free to call him what you want. First, you can even stick to baby M till we walk him down the aisle. Anyway, this is how it started. I was experiencing like little cramps. Like, it wasn't anything intense. It was just really chilled, but I felt like labor was coming soon. And they were really random. It wasn't anything serious. It was really like spaced out, but I'll just experience like little cramps here and there. At midnight, I found like a bit of what I think was a mucus plug, but it was just a bit. I won't like explain what a mucus plug is. Please, I'll insert what it is. Because it's better than me explaining. You don't want to gross anyone out, in case it's TMI. But yeah, so I feel like there was just a little bit of the mucus plug, but I'm not really sure. That was at midnight, just before I slept. But I just, I think I sent a picture to my mom. I was like, oh, this is, what's happened. Yeah, because she's a midwife by profession, so she was my go-to girl. So yeah, I sent it to her. We just played it by the ear. We managed to sleep. So I went to work. Life was normal. I think I was home the whole day that day. I really can't remember. This is why I'm doing this video today, because if I don't do it today, I'll forget my labor story. And I was actually home alone. Yeah, I was home alone. You guys left me alone. Baby, you left me home alone. And anyway, I was home alone the whole day. The cramps were like by 15, they were a little more serious, but not so serious. But like they were, I started to use the timer in actual fact, because I was like, okay, let me see, at the pace at which they're moving. And when they came, I didn't really have to like manage my breathing, but they felt like they were getting more and more intense. And it was like, yeah, it was like a cramp. So anyway, my mom came after she knocked off from work. So she came straight here to kind of assess the situation. And she was like, you, who's talking, walking, laughing? She's like, you're not yet in labor. I didn't really understand, because to me, I guess the pain was definitely slightly more than typical cramps. So I was thinking and hoping that, maybe at this point, maybe I'm feeling 6 centimeters dilated, but no, anyway. And then by the time we got to 20, they felt a little more intense, and I'll be like, okay, they are here now. And I had to like, walk around or like stop so that they come. We also measured how long they were taking. So that time they were pretty like spaced out. They were coming every 7 minutes, sometimes 6 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes, and they were lasting like 45 seconds to 35 seconds maybe, sometimes a little over 1 minute. So it wasn't really, how can I explain it? It wasn't really, there was no set pattern. So 22, we just packed up dinner because I didn't really have appetite, and we went to the hospital to just assess the situation. So we went, my mom and Cheswa went to the hospital. We gave birth from Viva Med, in case anyone asks in the comment section. You may have missed it from Instagram. So we drove there and they welcomed us. They were really, really nice. And we went to the room, set up, stationed ourselves. Then I was taken to the delivery room so that she could check how many centimeters I was dilated. I don't know what that is called in English, but she did it. It wasn't really rough. I know some people say like, that part is really painful. So I was quite scared of it, but I asked, I was like, please be gentle. So she checked and she was like, yeah, 2 centimeters dilated. I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine. I wasn't demotivated at that point because I was okay, at least, it's better than not being dilated at all. So after that, we went to the room and she was like, okay, we'll check you after 4 hours. The contractions became intense. Like they were definitely like, intensifying. So at 01, she came again, checked me, and I was still 2 centimeters dilated despite the fact that the pain was increasing. So I remember when she checked me, I was done. I was just like, I can't be going through this pain and I haven't even moved in centimeters because I thought she would tell me I'm at least 6. Yes, I know I keep talking about 6. 6 may or may not be my favorite number. But I was just like, okay, I can't still be at 2 centimeters. And she could tell I was really demotivated. But I was like, you know what? Let's go through the night maps. It's okay. In the morning, let's see where we are at. So I could barely sleep because sleeping on my side was quite painful. So I was really experiencing the contractions then, and they became a lot more frequent. Like the length of the contractions and the time in between was a bit more consistent. So guys, I was so sure that next time I'm checked, we'll make a lot of progress. So anyway, I barely slept, struggled to sleep. So before mom left at 4 or 5, the midwife came, checked how dilated I was, and I was still at 2 centimeters. And I remember when she checked me, she was like, no, don't worry, you just rest, I'll tell your mom how many centimeters you're, because you'll be sad if I tell you. So I was like, okay, if she's telling me I'll be sad, I should be 4 centimeters, not 6. And then I begged, I was like, no, it's okay, I'm strong enough, I can take it. How many centimeters am I? And she was like, no, yeah, only 4 centimeters, yeah, only 2, yeah, still 2. My energy finished. Yes, I was really discouraged. To be honest, I was very sad because I was like, okay, I really thought by now I'd have given birth, we'll be like chilling with the baby. And also, I guess you really want to see your baby at that point and you want the pain to be done. So I was really discouraged. And I was just like, I'll be here till, that was 4. So I was like, I'll be here till tomorrow at this rate. But whatever. And my spirits were low, and that's the truth. I was defeated. That's actually the word. I wasn't even discouraged, I was defeated. So I let it go, just kind of rested. Mom left. I sat on the chair with Cheswa. We slept. I managed to sleep finally. I think sitting up felt better than laying down. So I managed to sleep. We woke up around 7, maybe 7.
Yeah.
We woke up around 7. I think we woke up when Walia came, when she brought breakfast. Probably. We woke up slightly before my sister came. She brought breakfast and she was like, oh, it's just so you can go home and freshen up and you can come back later. So he left us, had breakfast, I had a bath, did all that, and I was back on the bed. At 10 again, I was checked to see how many centimeters I was dilated. I was still at 2. I was just like, guys, this is very non-progressive. Actually, I begged myself, like, can I just go home? I really wanted to go home at that point because I feel like if there's no progress, why am I here? I'd rather be comfortable at home, chilling on the couch or something in my own comfort zone. But they're like, you know what? It's fine. We're going to put induced labor. So they inserted a pill up my... Yeah. They told me that I had to lay still for 2 hours, and then after that they'll check me, and if I've made progress, after an hour after they check me, they'll give me a painkiller if I'm really in a lot of pain. So I was like, okay. So they did that, laid on the bed. An hour into it, I was pressed. I don't know if this is too much of So anyway, When she came, I called after an hour. I was like, okay, I'm really pressed. I need to pee. She was like, no, you can't get up. So I was like, okay, so what do we do? So there's a bedpan that they give you. But the thing is, I was still having contractions all this time. So when she brought it, she was like, here, you can use this. I was like, just give me a minute. And this is why I really appreciated how patient they were, because I was like, there's a contraction. So you have to wait for the contraction to come. It goes. And then finally, I had to raise my hips because I couldn't get up. I couldn't sit up. It's not allowed. So you have to literally just raise your body. They place the pan under you. You pee. They take it away. And you get back to laying on the bed. Now, the contractions at 11, around the time that I was pressed, the contractions became a lot more intense. Like, it was really bad to the point where I needed a back rub every time a contraction came. So my sister was still there. Cheswa came back by that time. And mom had gone for work, so she wasn't there. But every time when a contraction came out, either have Cheswa or my sister, Walia, rub my lower back, like I know you can't see, but kind of right here in a really light circular motion. That was making the contractions a lot less intense. So after that, at 12, I was finally free. It was 12:30 because they inserted at 10:30. So at 12:30, they checked how many centimeters I was dilated. I was at 4. Yeah, I was at 4. So finally, guys, progress is being made. Now I was able to walk. I was able to go to the bathroom. So the bleeding, like the mucus plug, was coming out more and more. At that point, it was kind of gradually coming out. I'm told when labor is induced, your contractions are labor is a lot more painful and the contractions are a lot more intense, because at that point, the contractions were like, they come, it rests, and then it's back again. So there was a very small window for me to breathe. I was in so much pain, you guys. I tried laying down, it wasn't working. I had my birth ball with me. It wasn't working. I also sit on the ball when you have a contraction. Guys, it was not happening. I remember I was laying down because I was feeling extremely tired. I didn't really sleep all at night. And I feel like the contractions just take so much of your body's energy that you're really exhausted. But I couldn't sleep because the pain kept coming, and it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. It was like really small windows. At that point, I even stopped using the contraction timer because I was like, there's no point in using it. So I was just kind of riding it out. But I remember being in so much pain. I don't know. Let me explain to you how contractions feel. So for the ladies, it feels like a cramp, like cramps. So it starts from here. Then when it reaches lower, it's like a surge. So it's a surge that like is reaching lower, but then it doesn't come out. It's like it's stuck, which makes sense because the where it's supposed to come out, it's kind of blocked, so it has nowhere to go. And that lock, like the fact that the pain stays in your body, is what hurts, because it feels like the pressure should be coming out and going somewhere, but it doesn't. And that's what hurts, because you can feel it building up, and because the pain is familiar, because it keeps coming, you're like, oh my goodness, again, then boom, and it doesn't go anywhere. So it's just terrible. I don't know, like, I know I'm saying it with a smile, but guys, no. Babe, but you know what? It's true. I really can't remember. I remember the pain, but I can't remember it. Like, at this point, I can describe it, but I can't really remember the pain. Like, I remember it, but not really. Like, I know what it feels like, because I remember it felt like cramps, but yeah. So anyway, at 13, was it around 13? I laid down on the bed, kind of tried to go through the contractions laying down on my side. And every time they'd come, as I said, Cheswa, my sister, would kind of rub my lower back, and it really helped. I was given pethidine at 13 because the pain was really intense, and I really hate injections. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on my channel. I hate injections. But I remember begging my sister, like, please find the midwife, because she said that after an hour, after I'm done with after I've had the pill, I've been induced, I'll be given a painkiller. And I thought it was a pill, but when she came in, she came with 2 injections. And she was like, there are injections, so why do we give you? To be honest, at that point, I feel like the pain from contractions was so bad, I didn't care that she was using injections. I just wanted relief. She was like, no, we give you on your bum. I was like, she's like, do you want to lay down? I was like, I'll even take it standing. Just do it now. So she gave me, guys, I wasn't even bothered about injection, what? No. Did them, I was happy, felt like, okay, finally I'll get some relief. Now, the thing with pethidine is that it's not necessarily a pain reliever. I feel like it doesn't take the pain away, but it messes with your head. So I still remember experiencing the pain, but in a weird way, the whole 1 hour from the time that I was given the pethidine to the time I gave birth, it's all a blur. I just remember at some point they came in to check the baby's heartbeat, and the baby's heartbeat was there. At some point they were talking to me, but I remember at some point when the midwife was talking to me, I don't know what she was talking to me about. And she was talking to me, and I remember saying, I'm sorry. Like, guys, I was in and out of sleep. I was just like, sorry, I dozed off. What were you saying? Like, someone's talking to you. It just makes you drowsy. That's the word. But I think it's the fact that it messes with your head that makes you feel relief, because you're not mentally present with what's going on. But I still remember that the pain was still there. And when my sister came to my bedside, I remember telling her, like, Wale, I prayed. Why didn't God have mercy on me? Like, okay, guys, no. Labor. Crown Human Hair Salon is 1 year old now. We deal with kids. We offer treatments, amazing treatments. We do trimming. We do all sorts of protective styles like box braids. We do fishtail, passion twist, and we do lots of different variations of natural hairstyles. Please tell your mothers, your sisters, your children, your aunties, your grandmas to come through. Anyway, basically to explain what I was feeling, I was telling someone I may not remember the pain, but I remember feeling trapped. Like, you're trapped in this pain. You don't know when it will end. You don't know how much you've progressed to get to the finish line. And even if, let's say, I'm at 6 centimeters, no one can predict, like, okay, Mwapi, you're at 6 centimeters. After 30 minutes, you give birth. No one can tell you anything. You're in this, like, space, and you have no relief. You just have to go through it. And as I said, the pain is just coming. There was barely any window to breathe. It was that kind of thing. Till finally, at 14, I would say maybe around 14. My times may be a bit mixed up, because at that point, really, I had no sense of time. That's the truth of the matter. But I remember I went to the bathroom, and I had... there was a lot. I was told it was the bloody show. At that point, that's when it came out, apparently. But I had the urge to poop. It was like... It seems that the urge was really, really strong. Kept coming. So I begged my sister in there, wherever, in my mind. I wasn't really present, but I was just like, I need to poop. The urge was there. I feel like if I don't sit on the toilet seat, I'll poop as I'm standing. So she was like, no, don't poop. Let me go get the midwife. She went, and I just couldn't. I went and sat on the toilet. I was like, guys, I can't. It's literally like... It's like diarrhea, but it's a strong diarrhea that wants to come out. So you have no control. So she went, and then they came in quickly, got me off the toilet, because they act like it's such an emergency. No, get up. So got up, put it on the bed, checked how many centimeters I was dilated. Guys, they were like, she is 10 centimeters. I couldn't believe my ears. They're like, yeah, 10 centimeters dilated. Whew, guys. I was so happy. My water hadn't broken, so they broke my water. I remember I could like water just came out. They put me on a wheelchair. Still had the urge to poop. It was terrible. I was like, guys, I need to poop. Took me to the delivery room, and even as I got on the bed, I still had the urge to poop. And they were setting up things And I kept telling them, I want to poop. Like, he was really like pressing, So they're like, no, don't push. But I had the urge to push. And I remember an aunt told me, push with a contraction. Me, I was just like, they're taking long. I couldn't control it, guys. So my mom was by my bedside. So I had left because they thought I didn't have they thought I needed cotton wool. So he had gone with my sister to go buy cotton wool. So they left and I was with mom in the midwives, and that's how they told me, give it a push. Finally he started to push. I think after like 3 pushes he was out. I think with the third one I could feel his head by the second, and then the third they like give it a big push. So finally I gave it a big push and he was out. And it's literally like, and you can feel even your belly actually like just deflates. So yeah, gave birth, he was out. They put him on my chest. I was still not mentally present, to be honest, unfortunately, but I remember like the relief that it was over, and that's the word I would say. Like, I was just really relieved that it was over. And mom was like, we thank God. Like, mom was really emotional. She's like, we thank God God, thank you for the safe delivery. So they took him, put him on the bed, on like the little glass thing where they put the baby. And mom went there, and she said his nose is a little red. So apparently there's something he breathed in something. So they put him on oxygen. I remained on the bed. They're pulling out the placenta came out. They stitched me. He tore me when he came out, so they stitched me. And they injected me with the anesthesia, stitched me. I could feel the stitches, but I wasn't in pain. But I could feel, things going on. After labor, guys, a lot of things are just, they don't bother you. So I was just chilled on the bed. I couldn't wait to get off the bed, to be honest, because I was just ready to go back to real life. So anyway, we're done. Got off the bed, took a bath, and went back to the labor room. Yeah. To the maternity room, whatever it's called. So I was there, guys. I was just really relieved, to be honest. And yeah, I was just really relieved. I was feeling drowsy. Apparently they brought us the baby like an hour later. They brought him. I saw him. I needed to go to the bathroom. I don't even know what I was going to do. To pee. That I was brave, and I went to pee. I went to pee in the bathroom, and I started to feel drowsy. Yeah, and then before I knew it, I was still extremely drowsy actually, and I think the bending over like messed with my head more. So when I came out, I actually fell to the ground. I busted my knee a little bit. And Chesa was like, babe, what's going on? And even then, I still wasn't mentally present. You know where the sentences you can hear, but then you're not very sure what's going on. Anyway, so I fell. Chesa had the baby. I fell down. Chesa had the baby in his hands when I fell because he was excited with the baby. He was like, he didn't know what to do. Like, whether to throw the child, come to the... Like, it was very confusing, but he just quickly ran and called the midwives. They came, got me from the ground, and Chesa was like, what happened? Like, I also didn't know. My brain was still processing what happened. So I was like, I tripped. Then I was like, no. I just fell because I felt dizzy. So they told me I needed to sit and lay down. So I laid down, had energy aid because I was told that I needed some energy aid for energy, for pushing. So I had some, like, get the energy going. And that also, I was having some before delivery because I was told it to help me with energy, as I said. So yeah. We chilled in the bed. To be honest, I chilled. They brought the baby, tried to put him on the boob, and to be honest, he's just a really nice baby. And he tried to, even when you just put the boob by his thing, he was already trying to like suck. So he was smart from the get-go, but I may be biased, but I don't think so. So anyway, I asked them to discharge me. I was like, can we go home? Then they're like, they brought all the medications, and they said, yeah, you can go home at 20 because it will be 6 hours from the time that you deliver. So yeah, you guys, 20 hours we left, and I was just so happy to be home. so happy to be out of pain and so happy that my baby was alive and safe. But what I wanted to say is, one thing for me was, I feel like what do you say in English? It really showed how self-sufficient I try to be. Like, I remember saying I love to, like, if something goes wrong with me, I like to have like plan B, or like know that I can get out of the situation, back up, that kind of thing. But for once in my life in labor, I had no plan B. I had no backup plan. I did not know when the waiting will end. And that's, to be honest, I think that's what traumatized me the most, being out of control. But it really just shows that it was a pride thing, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, despite the pain, but it just showed me that I need to learn to let go and more deal with that as Mwape's personality and as a weakness with Mwape, because it's a strength, but in itself sometimes you just need to like rest and let God be God, if that makes sense. So I remember my frustration because I just wanted to know when it will end. I wanted the pain to be done. I wanted to feel like I had an escape route. Like, despite the fact that I'm in pain, there's something that I could do as Mwape to free myself from that pain. So for me, that definitely stood out. But I'm really grateful, for God's goodness and for how we made it out alive. Unfortunately, our technical assistant was sleeping, and so this is where the video ends. So just bask in all this beauty. This photography was done by Baby Angel Zambia, and she did such an amazing job. Olia was so patient with us, and we highly recommend. I'll put the details in the chat box, but enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching this video.